So now I'm back in Sublime Text, and I've taken the beginner HTML folder and dragged it over here into Sublime Text. And I'm going to go ahead and start our next section. I'm at the end of our images section, and I went ahead and already typed in. Now I'm going to add links, or going to create links for a website. So let's go ahead and show ourselves how to create links. I took the liberty of already kind of copying this ahead of time so we can kind of see what this might look like. But what I'll do here is show you that essentially what you want to do is you want to have the anchor element, the A element, your href, if you will, and then the HTTPS, whatever the URL is for the website. And this is searchblackendeducation.com. And then I want this Blacken Education to be the words that show up on our website when we do it. So we'll go ahead and save this, hit File, Save, and then we'll go ahead and we'll open up our document with Safari, and it'll just make this, I'll refresh this here. And you'll see at the end of here, now I'm going to create links. You see Blacken Education as a link that you have right there. And if I click on that, if you click on that, you see that it opens up right there in the same window, if you will. Now, if I go back, just hit back, we're right back at our website. And that's how your links work. That's exactly how they work. So now if we go over here and we'll try something else different. In addition, not just typing in the search Blacken Education, but if we add another attribute, and I'll just copy this. I copied this already and added the other thing. We'll go ahead right here and I'll put a new one. And you see I have the exact same thing, but I added in the target attribute. I typed in target after and put underscore blank. And I'm gonna go ahead and just put a paragraph element here so that it'll be on a new line for us. And we'll talk more about ways to do that. And put this at the end here. So it'll be on a new line. So this right here, so adding that target blank, what does that do for our website? How does that change things? I'll hit save again. We'll go back over to our website. We'll hit refresh, and I'll make this bigger for us. But you see, we have both links there. And as you notice, the first one opened up and within the same window, if you will. If we go back, the second one, when you add that target attribute, it opens it up in a new window. So that's one of the techniques, one of the things you can use if you choose to open up a link in a different window on your website. You can certainly do that. But that's how you do it. That's how you get to that, is adding that target blank, if you will, the target attribute and the underscore blank value, if you will. So now let's go ahead now and create a navigation menu. And you see I've taken the liberty to go ahead and type an H3 heading here and say, now let's create a navigation menu. This will be a subsection of our links section, if you will. And so how do we create a navigation menu? And it's very similar to what we talked about before, as we just mentioned. You obviously want to start with an ordered list. This is one of the ways you can do it. And you're going to have within your unordered list a list item. And as we talked about, you have the opening and closing tags for the list item, as you know. And then we're going to have an anchor element. And then our href, this is our href attribute. What would the value be for our href attribute? Here we're going to just type index.html. This is the folder, this is the index.html. This is the folder, the file that we're in right now. And we're going to go ahead and make that our home folder, our home page, if you will. And that'll be home. So this is the beginning of a list item and the beginning of a navigation bar, if you will, a menu that we're going to have. So index.html home, and we'll go ahead and save this. Now, obviously, we need another page probably in our website. We want to have more than one page, and we'll make that page About Me and About Me page. So how do we do that? What are we going to do? We already know we have an index.html in our beginner HTML folder. What we're going to have to do is to go up here and start a new file or create a new file, just as we did before. I'll have new file. We have to go down here and make sure it is an HTML file. And then I'm going to go ahead and save this file. And as I save this file, it's going to already ask me where in the beginner HTML folder. And I'm going to go ahead and do about_me.html and save it. And you can see it pops up right there as About Me. Now, when I click on that, I'll go ahead and get out of these right here, just so we close out of these up top. When I click on the About Me, our index.html has all of our information that we've been working on. But when I click on About Me, as it stands right now, it has nothing in it because we haven't put anything in it thus far. So if we go ahead, just like we did before, and start typing HTML for this, and however you do it, whatever text editor you're working with, and go ahead and create the structure that we know we need for an HTML document, this will let us go ahead and get started. So I'll go ahead and put the heel, I'll head over there, I'll tab this over just so we can be in the same space, if you will, and kind of have our spacing where we want it to be. I'll tab this down a little bit. In our title section, and this is similar to what we did before, and this is really good practice, a good exercise to kind of make sure we reinforce what we've already learned. For the title, I'll put About Me. About Me. And that's going to go up in the window, the top window of our web browser. And then here, and we don't have anything just yet that we're going to put in here. So right now I'm going to do is I'm going to just save this again, hit File, Save. You notice that goes back to an X. Now let's go ahead back in our index.html file, if you will. Go down to the bottom where we're creating our navigation menu. We're practicing on creating our menu. And let's add a different list item down. Now that we have that right there, we'll add a list item. We'll do our anchor element. Go ahead and anchor. And then we're going to put about_me.html. And I'm going to go ahead and call this about me. And that'll simply show up on our website. Now that right there is what it'll look like in terms of a navigation bar, a navigation window, if you will. And I'll go ahead and hit File, Save. But one of the things I want to do is I want to take this, because this is going to show up like a navigation window and a navigation menu, if you will. I want to take this and I'm going to copy this whole thing, right click and copy it. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up right away up top in our web page. And I'm going to put it right here under our H1 heading. Give it a little bit of space just so we can see it. Right under our H1 heading. And now we have this UL right here. And one of the things I'm going to do, just so that you know, and we're going to talk more about this a little bit later on, I'm going to add an additional element, if you will. And we're going to call this the nav element. And that nav element will let our browser know. And we talked about the importance of being semantically correct in semantics, if you will, for people who may have screen readers or those who may be visually impaired and they're using a screen reader or browsers just reading and figuring out what your website is about. Making sure you have the correct navigation and syntax in general on your website makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and just scoot that over. And then we'll be able to have a nav element. So our entire UL, if you will, unordered list is wrapped together now in a navigation element. And then we're going to see that it's going to show up at the top of our page. What I'm going to do right here is copy this whole thing, because no need to be able to write it over. Save this. So it goes back to X. Go to About Me. And I'm going to put the same thing right here. I'm going to go ahead and put our navigation element right here. So we have that same navigation element right here, and I'm going to go ahead and put an H1 tag or element right there, and this will be this page is about me. And you'll be able to go ahead and kind of practice on the page. Whatever you want to put here, I just put that there, and this whole navigation element is now spaced and put into our second page on About Me. And we'll go ahead and save this. Let File, Save. And let's see what this all looks like. You know, if we go back over here and we're going to open up our website, and we're right here at the bottom, we're going to add our navigation menu. And I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger and refresh it. We see a couple things show up. First of all, at the bottom where we typed in About Me and Home, we click on that. That takes us back up to the top. That's where we are. If I click on this About Me right here, it takes us to this web page right here. So this page is About Me, or whatever we're going to put in it. This is About Me. And you notice that it opens up right in the same window, and I can hit back and go back. If I wanted to add the target blank attribute to this, it'll open up in a new window. It's whatever you want. You know, a lot of times folks will just make it open up in the same window. And also, since we have it up here, it's at the top here as well. So as I go right here and just kind of minimize that, you can see we have the beginnings, the workings of a navigation bar and navigation window right here, right at the bottom of our text, if you will. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and end this section the way we similarly have done, and add an HR rule, a little horizontal rule here, and go ahead and add in our comment, end of link section. And now we can play around with this. You've now gotten a chance to look at this and see how you set up a sample navigation window. And I'll leave this here just as an example, as a sample for you in terms of what that might look like. And you have the About Me page. And I think I'm going to just make this say About Me. That's what I think I'm going to do. Just make that say About Me. So that's clean and simple. And save that. Hit save. And so now we can take a look at our website, and we have really a beginnings of a website started for us, and we can go ahead and see how we want to begin to do more things with our website, how we want to go ahead and do additional things now that you have links. And we'll move on now to one more thing you may want to add to your website, and that's adding video and audio to your website. We'll do that next.